Y'all ready to go? I'd like to call the meeting of the North Rock Planning Commission to order, please. This time, Ms. Keisha, would you please call the roll?
Alexander.
Here.
Blasco.
Here.
Chambers. Deeds. Foster. Harris. Phillips.
Here.
White. Chairman Clifton.
Here? Hear a
Make
motion?
a motion to excuse the absent members.
Motion made and seconded that all members not present be excused. All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Also, we're honored today to have our mayor, Mayor Joe Smith, with us today, and also our former mayor and North Rock Parks Director, oh my goodness, I've known the man all my life. I had a blank. Oh, excuse me, Mayor. And also, we're glad to have our former planning director with us today, Robert Boyles is here. So thank y'all for all being here today. Let me remind you to please turn off your cell phones. And if you come to the microphone to speak, please speak into the microphone so we can get it recorded. Mr. Chambers?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, in this unusual circumstance, it's also important to remind everyone that it takes 5 votes to get approval of the Planning Commission, and there's only 5 members, so that means any vote has to be unanimous for approval from the Planning Commission.
Thank you, Mr. Chambers. You have been submitted a copy of our minutes of our previous meetings. Are there any additions or corrections? Motion made and seconded that they be approved as submitted. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Mr. Don Chambers, our Development Review Committee.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, the Development Review Committee met and considered item SD 2016-22 Maverick Edition Lot 1A-R site plan review of a shop building with offices located at 13,200 Valentine Road. The applicant was present and agreed to items 1 through 10 in subsections, and with that, the Development Review Committee recommends approval.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded that it be approved as submitted. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? Yes, sir.
My name is Robert Brown. I'm with Development Consultants, and we represent Maverick in this application. So I don't have any questions, but if anybody else does.
You've been submitted a copy of the requirements from the Development Review Committee. Or you're okay with all those requirements?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anybody else have any comments on this? Any comments from any of the commissioners? All in favor of the application as submitted? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Item
Yes,
B.
Brown.
Item B was SD 2016-25 Northwood Creek Addition, Lot 2R, replat and site plan review of a building addition and parking lot located at 9300 Counts Massey Road. The applicant was present and agreed to items 1 through 12 and subsections, and with that, the Development Review Committee recommends approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded that the application be approved as submitted. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on this application? Any comments from any of the commissioners? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
We also considered item C, SD 2016-26 Iron Mountain Addition, Lot 6R, Block 27, a replat of commercial lots into one lot located at 601 East 13th Street. The applicant was present and agreed to items 1 through 10 in subsections, and with that, the Development Review Committee recommends approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded this application be approved as submitted. Are there any comments from anyone in the audience? Any comments from any of the commissioners on the application? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
And item D, SD 2016-29 McCain East Business Park, Lot 1, site plan review of Arkansas Pain Center Surgery Center located at 4331 East 43rd Street. The applicant was present and agreed to all items and subsections of 1 through 10, and with that, the Development Review Committee recommends approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded that this application be approved as submitted. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak on this application? Any comments made by the commissioners on the application? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Mr. Chambers. We will move into our public hearing portion of the meeting. First case is rezone case number 2016-6 to rezone land located at 1301 Main Street from O1 to C3 to allow for commercial development. Is the applicant here? Yes, sir. Give us your name for the record. And
Terry Burris, architect, Little Rock. I'm representing the developers and owners of this property, Terraforma. We're extremely excited about the revitalization of this existing building at the corner of 13th and Main Street. The rezoning will allow us to seek additional tenants. We've got commitment from one tenant right now that's going to take approximately a third of the building. And I will be back before you probably within a month or so for a site plan review as we go through the development of this site. So,
okay. Thank you, Mr. Burris. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? Any comments from the commissioners? Mr. White?
And what kind of tenants are you looking for?
well, we're seeking office type use. The one organization that has made a commitment to take approximately 10,000 square feet is a data security firm, and they actually need a small amount of warehousing, and because of that, the C3 zone seemed to fit. We also hope to find some user that can put that existing cafeteria, some kind of culinary type program or something of that nature. So,
Thank you.
Mr. Chambers?
Yes, Sean Spencer, on the land use plan map, I noticed that a large chunk of the property was shown as blue. I guess that's public space, public use. And I guess the land use plan anticipated this corner might become a quasi-public corner.
We were at the point in time, maybe the school would expand there, but we're going to be contacting those property owners to see if they want to amend the land use plan to either recognize what they're using it for or
Okay,
to match the zoning.
okay.
But at the point in time, we didn't have time to do notice and everything. Didn't want to hold up their part of it to do that, but we're in the process.
So will this vote be to rezone the property and change the land use plan?
For the school, yes.
For this school,
Yeah.
yes. Okay, thank you.
Any other comments made by the commissioners? On the application, please call the roll.
Yes.
Ms. Blasco?
Yes.
Chambers?
Yes.
Phillips?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Chairman Clifton?
Yes. Okay, Mr. Spencer, you can get with them and work on the rest of it. Thank you. Next item on our agenda is item number 2, public hearing number 2016-14 to review and receive comments on an environmental assessment for the Big Rock Quarry located at the end of River Road. And if you are going to be speaking in this public comment on this, we would ask you to limit your comments to 3 minutes, please. Is the applicant here, Mr. Boyle, you representing this?
I was asked to help with process an environmental assessment and help with coordination. A public hearing is being called on this proposed development at the quarry in Emerald Park because it is park property and it may have impacts on the community. The primary concerns that I addressed in the report were not on socioeconomic or things of that type. This is a very remote area, but the likely comments that I addressed was likely to be concerns about the increased traffic on River Road, knowing that that is shared with the Arkansas River Trail. The city's bike plan does call for separation of that in time. That hadn't been necessary due to the low volumes. We don't know the volumes. It'll probably be 200 to 300 cars additional per day, but it depends on the success of this feature. So I'd like to, the applicants here, developers are here. This is under the Parks Commission, but I wanted to let you know that we're not asking for a yes or no vote on this. This is just to take public comment. We're in a process, and we appreciate the Planning Commission letting us have the public hearing through your normal public hearing process.
Thank you, Mr. Boyles. Anyone would like to speak on this? Any public comments? Anyone? Mr. Mayor?
We have spent a tremendous amount of time trying to figure out all the options that we have to make our Burns Park area and all of our park system, which is over 1,500 acres, even better, to allow our citizens in North Little Rock and Central Arkansas to have the opportunity to enjoy our park system. These particular developers have been successful in a state park, I believe, Terry, in Mountain View. And so we're hoping that they can duplicate that effort here and give the people in Central Arkansas a chance to enjoy this type of ropes course, which is a lot of its training, and then also the zip line, which is entertainment. So we're hoping that the community will embrace this and that we'll be able to have this up by next spring.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Chambers?
A question for Mr. Voiles.
Yes, sir.
I enjoy the natural passive beauty of the quarry, and I realize it should have some possibility for economic development. But if you were to snap your fingers and the use was to go away, what damage would there be to the quarry remaining after that was all done?
Probably none. They're going to use the existing gravel way and flatten an area that's gravel for parking. They're going to bring in mobile structure. They're going to have bottled water and compostable toilets, so there's no heavy utilities being brought in.
It's a minimum impact facility.
Minimum impact on the site itself. In the quarry, the access way will be separated from the river trail. Up on the top, it'll have a treetop adventure where ropes and features are up 20 feet in the air, and the existing Highland Trail will continue and be open to the public. So I hope the Parks Department will have in their contract that should this shut down, that they remove material, or I guess we could take it over if we wanted to keep it, but they're assuming liability for their features. We still maintain liability for the park. So, you know, it's minimal impact, but it will allow some health benefit to the community and getting people out and getting a new feature to do outdoors.
Okay. A question from one of my neighbors was that since they enjoy hiking the park and all that, will the public still be allowed to hike the area, or will it be fenced off and restricted and you cannot go in this area?
No, it's available as park property. It's not being isolated from the community. You will have to pay for participating in
Sure.
different features.
Sure. Okay.
Mr. Hartwick?
Jerry Harvey, Parks Director. The hiking trails and everything will be still set in place, everything be stay in place. These people are nothing but more or less in the trees, developing, as the mayor said, a chance for more exercise, more development. I saw Ms. Bernadette here today. It's more like living and doing more things in our park, bringing more people to the park to have exercises, which we're all about. And a lot of team building in the elementary school ages. In fact, even at our age, a lot of team building there and stuff going on like that. So as far as the trails, completely mainly open. They're all segregated from this property.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments from anyone on this public hearing proposal? Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon. I'm Bernadette Rhodes, Facility Coordinator, and I wanted to echo what Mr. Hartwick just said. Anything that increases visibility of the wonderful natural resources that we have in our parks is a good thing in my mind. Certainly the Emerald Park Highland Trail is not utilized as much as it could be, and I think that this feature would really draw attention to that asset and improve the health of our community by attracting more people to its usage. I just urge the developers, and I'm sure you've thought of this too, to ensure the safety of other users of the Highland and the River Trail especially all the pedestrians and bicyclists, knowing that there will be increased traffic. I see a lot of representatives from the bicycling community here, and they're welcome to come up and speak, but if they don't, I'll speak for them to just, make sure that their safety is ensured and that the traffic doesn't interfere with them recreating in their own way. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Chambers.
One last consideration, more than anything else, and tying off your remarks, would be, I hope the city, if they do notice increased traffic, would choose to try to move the bicycle trail off the road. Well, parts of it share the road, so I'm thinking that in the future.
It's the plan coming forward.
It is, okay. That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Any comments from the commissioners? Okay, then we will accept this, and y'all will
You want a
proceed.
motion to accept and forward to City Council?
If you want to make a motion.
This is just a public hearing, so it does not go to city council.
Does
So
not,
this is
okay.
So just, we close the public hearing, and, you're welcome to vote and support it.
Okay.
But it does not go to city council.
As I say, we'll accept this, and y'all can move forward with your plans, and you will come back with site plan. Is that what I'm understanding?
Site plan review is next.
Just to go forward with it, we'll keep you all involved, but this is the process to go forward with our environmental access study. So this is something we're just trying to notify the public and letting them have their say on this as much
So
as they
the
do.
next step is site plan review?
I don't think we have to do a site plan review, do you, Robert?
No, this is, it's in the parks, it's under the Parks Authority, and I don't believe it will, but, that could be overturned. But we are in a 30-day period. We have another 15 days or so for the public to submit comments. And we're just trying to share as much about this as possible right now.
Mr. Spencer, we don't necessarily take this under our
We
purview, do
were, without seeing, I don't think they have a real plan yet,
Yeah.
but for towers and stuff in a tree, there wouldn't be site plan review on a temporary structure.
I was
But
thinking more in terms of parking, office, things like that.
It just really submit what the Parks Department approves, and
Right.
and if it's temporary structures, then probably not. But
I think you
we'd
have
have to see
our
what it
blessing.
is.
If you need it, we'll provide it, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. We'll be glad to share it. It's all of us in this together, okay?
It'd be of interest, Terry, if you would give it to Sean. He could share it
I'll
with
be
us
glad
for
to.
informational purposes.
Yeah, I'll keep Sean in the loop without a doubt, okay? Thank y'all for your time. I
Thank y'all.
appreciate it. Thank you.
That concludes our agenda meeting under public comment. We have an open session. Would anyone like to make any public comment?
I wish to thank whoever gave me the auto registration insurance holder. I think that's cool.
I think that is courtesy of Miss Alexander.
Sure is.
Thank you. Is this,
And you said what,
is this something
Sean?
you can buy, or where do you get these?
And you said what? I said public comment? Okay. Motion made
Second.
and seconded that we adjourn. All in favor, aye. Opposed? Thank you. All right.